What is going on, everybody? Thanks for tuning in. I know a lot of people are over on Red Panda Mining stream right now, live stream. He's doing a giveaway for 14,000 subscribers, I think, something like that. So I'm sure that maybe y'all can dual stream. I don't know, but I have to do mine at 9:30 because I can't wait on him to finish because I don't know how much longer he's got. But I figured I would go ahead and crank mine up just to get the content out there because you know, we were waiting to actually mine KAWPOW Ravencoin Testnet on either SimpleMining or Hive OS or something. And actually SimpleMining was the one that was kind of hanging us up. And that's probably what we'll look at tonight. Yeah, I figured we would do this on a SimpleMining rig and RX 580s just to show the difference between, there's a slight, from what I can tell anyway, and I mean obviously miners are going to be updating their software. You know, things will change between now and the middle of the month or the beginning of next month whenever they intend on transitioning to KAWPOW, which is a variant of ProgPoW for the Ravencoin network. It's going to be huge, hopefully, for GPU miners and gaming rig miners because we'll be able to mine Ravencoin again at hopefully what ends up being a profit, and that's a really good thing. So this is pretty exciting times for Ravencoin supporters. It's been a brutal year and a half or so now since you know, ASICs have come onto the network, and it's just been really awful for GPU miners on the Ravencoin network. You know, you've got FPGAs and ASICs on Ravencoin right now, so, or suspected anyway. Yeah, so I figured we would do RX 580s because from what I can tell, there's just a little bit of an advantage to NVIDIA. But like I was saying just a second ago, you know, miners are going to keep updating their software and maybe they'll even out. The whole goal between ProgPoW, or one of the goals of ProgPoW, is to kind of level the playing field between all players, you know, commodity hardware and, you know, GPUs and ASICs. So ProgPoW doesn't mean, or KAWPOW doesn't mean that there won't be ASICs. It's just that they won't have such a huge advantage. That's kind of like the goal, right? You want everybody to be, you want it to be decentralized, and you want a gaming rig person or a small home GPU miner for decentralization. You want all those people to be able to mine Ravencoin. Is kind of like the goal of KAWPOW. And let's look at the article that just came out today, actually. Tron Black, one of the or the lead developer for Ravencoin, did an update to his, this is his thoughts on Ravencoin ASIC thoughts, round 2, but this is actually more like round 6, something like that. So if you go down here to the update from today, you know, he's talking about the COVID-19 virus and how things have changed and put everybody basically at their homes to work on the project instead of at the Peace Coliseum where they used to work. So everybody's doing work from home. And, you know, he's talking about how the development continues on KAWPOW. And if you're not familiar with what he's talking about there, where he says, not enough A's or W's for my taste, the original name that he gave this algorithm was KAAAWWWPOW. So it was KAWPOW, right? And it was, I don't know if it's like tongue-in-cheek kind of a joking around or if it was serious, but nonetheless, it's KAWPOW, KAWPOW now. And one of the disadvantages that he speaks about here is that the algo needed to be tuned to a certain amount of memory usage, which is going to force some of the older GPUs like the 1050s possibly off of the network, and you won't be able to use those. It talks about here, it looks like initially a 3 gig card will be able to mine Ravencoin, but a 2 gig won't. And then that DAG parameter, the directed acyclic graph size parameter, is going to increase over time. So you know, it's just like Ethereum. It's just like Ethereum Classic is right now, where the DAG size can kind of push out older GPUs. It's not like I don't think it's an intentional design. It just happens because the DAG grows over time. And so yeah, and here's got the plan is to have the code and binaries available by mid-April. So a hopeful algo switch date of May 6th. Now this makes it sound like it's just going to happen, and I don't know if they're going to do this the same way that they have done in the past, where there's a voting by the miners, you know, and the people running nodes to basically vote on which software they want to implement. You know, they did this with the assets layer or the assets capabilities on the network as well. The restricted assets, tags, all those little features that they've added over time, they've actually done voting on it. And it was funny because the restricted assets and tags, which was a huge, you know, it was waited on for a long time. People have been waiting on it. It still took over a month, I believe, to actually get everybody to implement the project or that specific code upgrade. So I don't know if they're going to. This makes it sound like it's just going to happen, like it's going to be a switch, but I don't know. I need to look into that to see what the actual goal is, because normally you know, Ravencoin is an open source project, so it's a community-driven project. So I would assume that it's going to be the same way as in the past, you know, where they basically vote with hash power. So whether or not you run their code or not. And somebody just subscribed. I really appreciate it. Thanks so much. I didn't catch the name, but hey, what's going on, everybody? Thanks for tuning in. Did Panda finish up? Let me know if Panda finished up or not. All right, cool. Got everybody in here. Thanks for tuning in, guys. I appreciate it. All right. Yeah, maybe he finished and sent everybody over here. I don't know. What's up, Gray Dog? Thanks for coming in, man. All right, so that little article just brought you up to speed with what's going on. We are going to tackle this like we did in the past whenever we used the random coin mining sheet here, you know, the documentation sheet where we went and collected all the data, and we talked about where to get the data from and all that. So that's how we're going to do this. We're going to do it old school. Some people like that, some people don't, but real quick, I did want to point out the market's pumping hard. That's a good thing. You can see the green behind me and everything. So really green day. Like it a lot. Don't know if it's a real pump or not. It looks real to me. By real meaning that it's like a sustained thing. It doesn't seem like it's just you know, not organic, so to speak. So yeah, cool stuff. Good to see the market moving in that direction finally. Especially ETH. I like to see ETH pumping like that. All right, let's see here. So where are we at? We need to, let's see, first off, what you would normally do is you would go to the project's website. So let's do that first. So let's go to ravencoin.org. And then, you know, here you would learn about the project, whatever the project is. In this case, it's Ravencoin. A lot of times you can click on, you know, about. You would have to get a wallet, you know, to get an address to mine to. And in this case, remember, we're doing testnet, so my testnet wallet isn't actually not the wallet, but I can't get it past. It's like 10 days behind or 11 days behind, and it's stuck right there. I just haven't troubleshot it. I got an address early on, so I can still test mine. All that stuff works, but I got to troubleshoot my wallet to figure out what's going on with it. But yeah, you would typically learn about the project, you know, whether or not you are willing to support it with your hash power. That's one of the things that you have to consider whenever you are mining a project. It is not going to be, even right now, if you were to mine Ravencoin on a GPU, probably not going to be very profitable. Probably not at all, depending on your electric costs, of course. But yeah, even on NVIDIA, you know, right now they're X16R V2. And let's see where I'm at, 11 cents per kilowatt hour. So they might not even show up on this list. I haven't checked this in a really long time, but okay, so they're way down here. So you would be losing $1.73 a day if I was mining Ravencoin, I would be losing $1.75, 73 a day on this particular rig that is set up like this, the NVIDIA rig. And clearly you would be losing a lot more if you were on like an RX 580, because they are really awful at the X16R algorithm. It's not their fault or anything, I'm just saying by design, you know. See, an 8 GPU RX 580 rig is going to be losing $2.50 a day on Ravencoin. So yeah, just not really profitable right now, and that's why, I mean, nothing really is, depending on your electric cost. Not a lot is profitable right now, but this is why this is so important for Ravencoin and us GPU miners, because if they can pull this off and go to KAWPOW and level the field, KAWPOW does use, from what I've seen, quite a bit more electricity, but hopefully it is leveled out, you know, and it makes sense to actually mine it and be profitable, hopefully, from a GPU miner standpoint. All right, so we're on the website here, and then you would do your research, do your own research. You would do white paper. You would, investigate what's going on with this thing, with this project that you want to mine. Let's see if we can get to, I think over here we can get to the Bitcoin Talk thread. So the next place you would want to go is the Bitcoin Talk thread, the official thread. And then what I like to do, I used to recommend this all the time, if you were investigating a project, like especially a new one. Now in this case, this isn't new, but if you were just getting into this, I would recommend you hit up their Bitcoin Talk thread and make sure it's the official one, hanging off of their website. You saw how I got here. I got here from their official website. So you got to validate all this stuff as you go through the process. And then what I like to do, if it's a new project, is scroll through and see what members are commenting and what they're saying. So you got, like right here, right off the bat, this was way back in 2018, April of 2018, whenever Ravencoin first launched. Legendary member, probably highly respected. I'm not completely familiar with this person, but they mention nice things about it, right? He's saying that he's at least read something without a masternode sale, pre-mine, no ICO, no airdrop, blah blah blah, right? And fair distribution. So right off the bat, you've got some pretty good comments from higher profile members, I guess you could say, right? So then you also want to look at the number of entries. If it's an older project, this has 223 pages. That's pretty solid. Although I do see a slight move away from a lot of data going into Bitcoin Talk. It's still here. I would still use it if I was launching a project. I would still update it. You can kind of see there's been a whole day before the last update on this, even though Ravencoin is super popular, right? So I do see a slight move away from it. It seems like it's not as active as it used to be. And I'm not referring to just Ravencoin, I mean the whole forum as a whole. All right, so that's the second thing I would do. And then off of here, I would go to, this is where I would get information for the project. So let's start filling out our sheet here. We're gonna be looking at Ravencoin. Let me pull this over here. See if I can fix this, stop it from doing that. All right, and the ticker is RVN, and we're gonna go KAWPOW, right? And then I'm gonna type in here that we're doing testnet, because this is just testnet. This is not real-time stuff here. Block time is 1 minute, and the reward is 5,000 Raven still. I think that's the same on testnet. I don't think it's changed any. See here, 1 minute, 5,000. They do have a halving every 4 years, so that means that they will be having next year. Is that right? No, 2022. So 2022 there'll be a halving. They have 21 billion supply. Let's see here, 21 billion. No, I'm not going in order here. Let me hop back up here. Now the items that are kind of grayed out here are just kind of good to know information. You don't have to have that in order to mine it, but pretty much everything in the white is something that you actually have to have in order to successfully mine a project. In this case, the only testnet pool that I'm familiar with or that I know of is Minermore. There might be others, but I haven't done a whole lot of research. This is just testnet anyway, so once I find one that works, I'll just stick to it. I haven't been testing any testnet pools or anything like that. So let's go back over here. So this is the pool that we're going to use. I think actually I'll just grab this address here. And this is actually for KAWPOW miner, which was one of the first miners for this algorithm. I could not get it to work on, I couldn't get it to work on anything. I kept having errors. It's specific to NVIDIA, and I just never got around to figuring out what the problem was. I did read in the Discord that there were people that was actually using it successfully. I could not get mine to work. And then while I was looking at it and looking into it, Gminer came out with a version of their miner 2.04 that worked with KAWPOW. So I just switched over to Gminer and everything's been okay since then. Gminer seems to work just fine. The pool and the port here. And then the address I got from my wallet. I can get an address from it, but I can't, it's not syncing all the way. So you would get the wallet from the official website, right? You would go back to over here and get your wallet. Like the official desktop wallet here. This is the one I'm using. And then if you're not familiar, the way that you get, you launch a Qt wallet into Testnet for Ravencoin anyway, is you have to put a dash and a testnet after the executable. And let me show you what I'm talking about here. So you would take a shortcut, you would create a shortcut to the executable, which in this case is, you can see this up here, hang on. So raven-qt.exe, right? So you create a shortcut to wherever you have extracted that and ran it from. Normally you would want to sync first, let it sync the full blockchain. I've got videos on all that stuff, so I'm not going to really get into that here. But you would just add testnet, a dash testnet. Actually, there's a space, a dash testnet after that, and it launches in testnet. And you'll know that you're in testnet whenever you see it launch in. It'll look, hang on just a second. Let's see if this slides over there. It'll look like this. It won't have the normal colors. It'll have the green colors in there. And it'll say testnet right here. All right. I'm gonna let that run. I don't know if it's not gonna sync. Yeah, see, I'm 12 days behind, and it's stuck right here. But I'm not gonna worry about that right now. I'll mess with that later. Okay, so that's where you get the wallet from. And so that's where we got the address from. Wallet method is a desktop Qt in this case. CoinMarketCap value. Again, this is just good to know information. It doesn't have to be. I'm not using CoinMarketCap anymore. I'm using Masari. So I have to learn how to use this because it's not the same. So just bear with me with this. We're gonna go change this here. All right, and then market cap, again, just good to know. I like this about Masari, it has liquid market cap. That's cool. So if you went to, let's just do a real quick comparison here. Go back to CoinMarketCap. want to see what it says for okay, 101 million. Sorry, says 100 million, so it's a little bit off, but okay, whatever. All right, so 100 million basically market cap. Volume. "24-hour real volume is 2.5 million. And see how the volume on CoinMarketCap is so much more? That should tell you something. I'll let you figure it out though. And it ain't good. All right. So the liquid volume, or the actual volume, right, is a lot less. Let's go. I don't even know if, does Masari have rankings? I would assume it does. Okay, I don't see a ranking on here. Doesn't really matter that much. Let's see. I'm probably gonna overlook it. Alright, so I don't know, can't really tell at this point what number it is on. Sorry. I'm sure it's in here somewhere. I'm just going to overlook it right now. Alright, we'll skip that part. And then this is just documenting the website for what to mine. Like if you were to look up the coin over here. You can get all the details about the coin from there as well. Bitcoin talk thread, we got that already. Or we went there already. And then the announcement date was April 2nd of 2018. Anything grayed out, just good to know as you're documenting stuff. Ravencoin.org. They don't really have a, I'm not familiar with a mining help website. Maybe each pool probably has their own. There's only 4 workers on here right now, and I think I'm 2 of them. All right, let's see here. And this rig is getting super hot here, but only 1 GPU, probably. I don't know why that is. I'll have to investigate. But anyway, so let's see here. Let's do we're going to be using SimpleMining OS and this rig right here. It's an 8 GPU Aorus, Gigabyte Aorus RX 580 rig. And this is the one that we recently did a reconfigure on. We basically put an 8 GPU, we took apart an 8 GPU rig, Veta frame, took the components off and put them all on a 6 GPU frame that I already had, and for density, right, to get it down. And that might be one part of the problem with the temperature being high, is the GPUs are a little bit closer now than they used to be. This is the rig that we actually took nope, that's not it. Sorry. This is the same one. But you can see here, let me see, I can't really pause this, but you can see how close the GPUs are together. So I probably should get maybe a fan on it and see if I can move the hot air off of it a little bit better. Might have to do that because, yeah, you see it's getting really hot here. At least that 1 GPU is. So what I'll do, let me hit this thing with a restart real quick. And I'm not mining, this a lot. This was just for the show here, so. Just let that cool off for a second while we're doing the configuration here. So let's go ahead and do a group config, and we'll do add a group. And in this case, we're going to be using SimpleMiner, I believe, right? Because this is, I think that's the only one that does. Let's find out. I don't know if they've added anything recently in here. So if we go KAWPOW up here on the search, we see gminer. So I guess we could use gminer for this as well. And SimpleMiner. Maybe I might try gminer. It says RX, but I don't know. Let's see. I'm currently using SimpleMiner, so I'm gonna stick with that for right now. So let's do that. All right. Now I'm kind of running out of time here. I think Brandon Coin's probably going live in a minute. So we're gonna be using SimpleMiner 29. So the algo is going to be KAWPOW, KAWPOW. We're going to get rid of stratum here. We only need RVNT, and this is from the pool. So if we go back to the pool over here, we can get the address right here. Or we could reference our spreadsheet that we created here. Right here's the address, the mining pool address, and the port. I'm just going to copy it from the documentation. Paste it in here so I don't make any mistakes. And then my address, testnet address. You can't use mainnet addresses in here. And then I tried the API earlier, I couldn't get it to work, but we'll leave it in there for now. And then rig name is a variable that will give whatever the rig's name is, it'll feed that to the pool, and you'll be able to identify your rig easier, you know, that way. So we're going to click add group here. Now we have the group created. Now for OC, this is what I have so far, and I don't know if where did I get this from? I think I got this from What to Mine. So if you go to What to Mine, which, you know, obviously they're going to be a little not necessarily way up to date with KAWPOW, but I use ProgPow, and you don't even have to do that. You just put your mouse over the GPU that you're referencing, and you can see what they are using for their calculations, right? And that's what I'm using, I think. 1150, 2150, yeah, and then 900. I don't have aggressive undervolt on, and I only have it at power stage 3. I thought I'd move that up to 4 earlier, but I'm mostly on 3 on everything. On other, you know, overclock settings for other algos and stuff. So, so I'm going to save that. Probably needs some adjustment though. You know, clearly it's running pretty hot, at least on that one GPU. So that's my overclock settings. Let's go back to rig list. Click on, yeah, and see some of the GPUs didn't start this time either. That's okay for now. Let's see here. So we're going to go actions, group config, and then we're going to choose the one that we just created, which is Ravencoin KAWPOW Testnet YouTube. And we're going to do a reload. And we should be able to watch the rig restart here. There's the restart happening. And an RX 580 should get between 9.5 and 11 mega hash. And earlier, this one was getting about 10.2 on these GPUs with the current settings. So you can see it building the DAG and all that stuff. Like, you know, it kind of reminds you of Ethereum a little bit. Now, it's showing almost 10 here for mega hash. You can see down there. But I do have the power. Let's see, I only have it at 1150. I think I tried 1175 and 2175 earlier, and I was getting over 10. It was like 10.2. Right now it's only getting 9.9, which is not terrible. You should get somewhere between 9.5 and 11 on an RX 580, which is not terrible whenever you compare it to NVIDIA. NVIDIA, you know, a comparable GPU with an RX 580 gets a little bit more than that. It's not a whole lot more, maybe a little bit more on the efficiency side, but yeah, not bad. So if we go back over to the pool, we should be able to see. I know that there's 3 GPUs not working here. But that's another thing. That's a whole other video there. So if we go to miner lookup and enter in our address here, and we can see, yeah, I've got 2 workers because I do have my NVIDIA rig. That's this one right down here. It's also on it right now. And you can kind of compare, you know, this is GTX 1070s, 1070 Ti's, and 1080s. And they're getting, what does that come out to, about 33% better performance, somewhere around in there, just from a straight, this says gigahash per second. That's not right. Yeah, I wish. That's funny. All right, yeah, they've got the calculation wrong in there, gigahash per second. That would be awesome. All right, so let's see here. I don't. Maybe that's all we can really do on here is just see what the balance is. I thought we could look. They might not have a lot. See, you can see these are my 2 rigs right here. So maybe I'm the only one on the network at all right now. But yeah, these two are, nope, there's somebody else right here, but that's funny. Killing the Ravencoin testnet right now. Yeah, but if you are mining, or if you have mined Ravencoin in the past, I would definitely, you know, test this algo out on your rigs if you plan on possibly switching back over to Ravencoin once this actually happens, and maybe it becomes profitable. You know, I don't know. I know I'm 4 minutes over. Let's get over there to see Brandon Coin. So do the Savage raid and all that stuff. I'm going to switch over there as well. And you know, we're going to cover this week on the stream. So you know, I'll fine tune this and hopefully get this rig squared away as far as those 3 GPUs not showing up. And I'll let y'all know what I come up with. If I don't do it live, I'll probably do it live. I don't know. You know how I am. So I typically don't do anything without firing up the camera so that y'all can kind of watch what's going on. And yeah, so that should be pretty cool. Probably do this probably again all week. I've got the other rig that we can mess with also. So we'll cover KAWPOW on RX 580s. That's really the only, I got a RX 570, but that's not going to make that big of a difference. And then the NVIDIA cards, the 10 series. And then I did a little bit already on the 1060, or I'm sorry, the 1660 Super. I did some content on KAWPOW with that. So check out those videos if you're interested in that. And I think, yeah, that's what we'll do this week. I think that's what we'll be doing most of the week. I will see you over in Brandon Coin. Stay savage, everybody. See you tomorrow night.